Good morning, everybody. I think it's July 3rd in North Carolina, and it's hot, hot, hot. I'm out here this morning. Normally, when you're, I wanted to talk about cutting herbs, and I'm mostly cutting my mints for some mint tea, but I have one pot of chocolate mint, and I've already cut it. I have all my baskets that I keep it in. I mean, you can cut it and dry it by hanging it up, but I just leave them in baskets and then toss it and let them dry. My oregano is fixing to flower. I gotta cut it. Parsley's not doing good right now because of the heat. They kind of like cooler weather. So I have one pot of chocolate mint. Now I have lots of spearmint and peppermint. So, and you've got to leave your mints in pots or they will take over your yard. And I have one at my mom's, a whole bed of mint, because I didn't know that at first. My basil was struggling at first here in North Carolina. We had such wacky weather, but it's coming up. I have not made anything much with my basil. It's going to start flowering before long. You don't want it to do that. So with basil, pop off the top. I think I'm just going to pop me off some. I'll see if I can find a little dish. But if you pop off the tops, then they will bush out into other little plants, and it'll make it fuller. I think I got me a smaller basket over here, so I'll throw that in there. Yeah, my basil have struggled this year. I mean, we had hot weather, then we had cold weather, and I tried to make this just a mint bed. I mean, not a mint bed, a herb bed, but I did put some flowers in it. I got a mushroom growing in there because I'm going to have to get rid of those because I use mushroom compost. So it's all gross. I don't want that around my basil, but that one's coming up. And then I had some chamomile. Oh, here it is. That was lucky enough to find some chamomile at Lowe's. I need to harvest that. I should have harvested it earlier. My deal, because this is more partial shade. My herbs this spot right here gets the most light in this area. So I have my beds lined up. The mushrooms smell weird. I got some pineapple sage, and I had propagated some pineapple sage. Let's see. I'm trying to say I haven't. I added one there that I had propagated. I just bought 2 plants, so I was just trying to fill out my bed. So I had thrown. Let's see. I want to show you. Pineapple sage is easy to do. I just probably just dig in the ground, but I think did some rooting hormones. So I got one there. This is mostly a flower bed, but I did throw a few other things in there. Try not to bounce y'all around. Just to show you some. I got my nasturtiums. I had a tomato plant pop up in that because I reused soil. My catnip is looking kind of bad, but I've been letting it flower and seed. Now, I have so much mint catnip at my mom's, I just don't worry about it here too much. But one thing I didn't know, that the yellow finches will eat these seeds, and I just learned that this year. I have a beautiful pot of sage. The common sage is great for your dressings and meats and stuff, and I do that like the basil. You just pop it off, and I haven't messed with this in a while. I've just been so busy. But then again, I got this catnip kind of just, I guess because it's in this pot, and it's probably about 12 feet away, it wound up being in this pot. And I had mostly made this with St. John's wort. And I've just been letting a lot of my herbs flower for the bees. So I haven't done a lot with that. These are some pots I've got to work on. My lavender's struggling. I got a rosemary bush I probably need to move. I got some other sage that I propagated a couple years ago, and I let it flower, and then I've popped off the tops of the flower stems. I got some lemon balm I got to cut this morning. But you got to put that in pots too. And I'm gonna come over here for a minute. Hold on. I'm going to show you. I got now these rosemary bushes. There's like 2 or 3 in there. I propagated a couple years ago off of a plant I had. I won't talk about everything else since we're talking herbs, but there's peppermint So I gotta cut it. Now this basil, if your basil's not doing good at first, give it a chance. It did turn up doing well. I want to show you this. Yeah, I usually cut all my mints at the same time. I think it's a spearmint. They get all mixed up, but I did like, you can see, it's just an idea, a 3-tier pot with some clay pots, and herbs love it to be dry, so that's about the only thing I could get to grow, and the clay pots. And so I did this one strawberry pot. I don't even know what this plant is, but it's kind of in the succulent family, I think, and it likes the clay pot. So anyway, the strawberries, I couldn't get them to live, so I just put my mints in them. And so it filled out really good. I mean, a few holes didn't make it, but I do have a video about how to do strawberry pots and layer them. And then I usually, my mints, because they fill out so quickly. I did this pot last year in the fall. I do most of my mints in the fall, spread them out, and then they're raring to go in the spring. Let's see, what else we got herby. Oh, I want to show you now, my lavender is done okay over here, and I've been surprised. And partial shade, this is ones that I had propagated a couple years ago, and I just kind of just left them alone. They don't like a lot of water, so this is the back side of my bushes. And then, kind of bounce y'all around, I have mints and pots everywhere because I do drink a lot of mint tea. It's good for your immune system. Catch a little sun there. These I did last fall, so they're still filling out. And this one. So I'll spread them out again in the fall, whatever I have time to do. And I have one over here, and then I think I have some peppermint in these little pots. And I did those last year too, so they're still filling out. So yeah, lots of peppermint, lots of spearmint, and I usually mix it together for a great tea. And usually I just, cut off for like half, and it come back out. I've done cut this like 2 or 3 times this year, but I drank a lot of mint tea, as I keep saying. So good for colds, good for immune system. I say some for the winter. And I hope you like this video. I was just scanning and showing you my beautiful caladiums. I know it's not herb related, but they love this area. I just wanted to show you that. But and then I did throw some sage in these beds last year, just to fill it out. So they're doing okay, not as good as they could in the full sun, but anyway, they're still pretty flowers. Some of it I don't use. I just started a couple years ago using herbs as just plants. Oh, I could show you this. Hold on, I'll show you this. Up my steps, I normally have flowers, but this year I did herbs, and they do well. I think I planted this maybe a couple years ago. This is purple sage. I probably need to cut that, but my lavender's done well. Now I did buy these 2 plants, and I've just left them alone, and it's rained a lot, so they've done okay. So I just got herbs up my walk, and they make just pretty plants, just pretty greenery, and they come back. I mean, you have to, they're in pots, you're gonna have to repot them, but if you don't mind doing that. But that's just some ideas, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you later.